What's up, everybody? Forgive my bedraggled appearance. I just got off work not too long ago, but we're gonna keep it rolling. Now, Simu Liu, star of the Marvel movie Shang-Chi, has created a massive hubbub, a ruckus, if you will, across multiple continents because of a Boba Tea pitch. Now, they came on Dragon's Den, which, if you don't know, in my opinion, is just like Shark Tank, but you know, the Asian edition, however you want to say it. And this French-Canadian couple came up and they were like, hey, we have this Boba Tea, and they made their pitch. Now, it was hard to find video of the actual pitch itself that wasn't a part of somebody else's video or that wasn't spliced and edited. But from what I understood, Simu had taken offense to their pitch, or he had taken issue with it, and he said this after they were done.
I am studying your can, and I am looking for anything that tells me where boba came from. And where boba came from is Taiwan. You know, I started this venture company for a lot of reasons, but really primarily to uplift minority entrepreneurs. And not only do I feel like this is not happening here, but that I would be uplifting a business that is profiting off of something that feels so dear to my cultural heritage. I want to be a part of bringing boba to the masses, but not like this. So for that reason, I'm out.
Thanks.
Respect that.
Respect that.
It makes me sad how successful this business is. It makes me sad that people are, you know, they're drinking boba with the raccoon with the sun.
It doesn't mean that they don't have the opportunity to change and do that.
That's true, but there has to be a willingness, and I have to be able to invest in these founders knowing that, that change is possible.
They didn't say no. The collaboration that they've had to this point is with their supplier in Taiwan. And if nobody else has told them that before, you can't put that all on them.
And then, of course, you see Simu over here, who we all know that face. That's the face of somebody who didn't get what they wanted. Like, he didn't get the agreement or the validation, and he got in his feelings. Now, the ruckus started afterwards, and it got really bad. Like, apparently it's still ongoing. There were death threats. There was harassment. The company, the couple, they had to come out and release a very long statement on Instagram, and also take special offense because I had to go and re-download the hellscape that is Instagram, because this guy wanted to insult and make claims about a company that is not on Twitter. But yeah, he said things like cultural appropriation. He even went as far as to say that it makes him sad that this is a successful company. It makes him sad that people like this product. And to me, above all else, I think that dollars to donuts, you can't argue with results. Now, say what you want about the company, say what you want about the people, say what you want about the product. In my eyes, none of that matters, because they're making money. They're successful. They have a product that people like, and people are buying it. So what is it that you can tell me that they are doing wrong that would make me not like this company, not like the product, not like the people? I know. Let's accuse them of being sort of racist, which is essentially what happened. He made a video afterwards, which he posted to Twitter, talking about, you know, trying to clarify everything and his thoughts, and how he doesn't believe that they should be targeted for harassment and death threats, and common sense should be common on the internet. And I don't know what kind of bubble this guy lives in, but the internet has not been safe. The internet was unsafe when everybody was using AOL discs and dial-up to log on. Okay, the internet was unsafe when we were playing Modern Warfare 2, and it's unsafe now.
I just thought I'd make a video here in response to this crazy social media moment that I found myself in as it pertains to Dragon's Den and the boba of it all. First and foremost, I want to say I think we hit on a really important discussion about cultural appropriation, what it is, how is, how is something exploitative rather than kind of paying homage and paying respect? When is that line crossed? And in that conversation, by the way, I've experienced a massive wave of positivity and support from people from every community, and I just think that's really incredible, and I really appreciate that. On the flip side, I've been made aware that the business owners have received a lot of death threats and harassment and otherwise just kind of bullying and dogpiling. And I just want to say that full stop, it's never okay to make threats. It's never okay to bully and harass online. And what I mean by that, I don't mean that, the business owners don't deserve valid criticism, and I don't believe that you should not be vocal about your disagreement. But, I think we can all agree, common sense, there's a line. There's a line that you don't and shouldn't cross. There's a line that you wouldn't cross in person. And I just don't want the legacy of this segment to be pitchforks and, people fearing for their safety. I think we're starting to lose the plot of I think what ultimately the positive energy of this is, which is let's educate people, let's make the world a better place, let's make people aware that, certain things aren't okay from a cultural perspective. When people's personal safety are being questioned, that's when, I think I have to take issue. And I say this as someone who's quite honestly been on the other side. Rumors have spiraled out of control. Social media has kind of done its toxic thing. And I've overnight felt, myself kind of on the other side of an internet dogpile. And it's one of the worst things that you can go through. And it causes undue mental stress and trauma. And in the case of these folks, they're fearing for their physical safety. So I just want to say this. I believe that the entrepreneurs of this business came on Dragon's Den to pitch a business in good faith. There were a lot of things with the pitch that I took issue with and I disagreed with. And as a result, I pulled out as a potential investor. But that doesn't mean that I believe that they deserve harassment and threats. I think a lot of grace should be afforded to them because they're French Canadian. I think their exposure to these types of cultural conversations was limited. And I also feel like English was not their first language. And when you have cameras pointed at you and you're put on the spot and you have to kind of answer these questions that I don't feel like they were prepared to answer, I think you're going to say a couple of things that are not perfect and not the best worded. And, to a degree, yes, it's 2024. We expect that people do their part and educate themselves. But at the end of the day, too, I try to live my life, my real life, and those and the people around me. I give grace and I ask for a lot of grace. I'm not a perfect human, but neither are any of the people in my life. And I just feel like I wish we had a little bit more of that energy online. I wish that social media could be a bit more of a habitable place where we could actually voice respectful disagreement with one another, where you could respond to people as if we were looking each other in the eye and saying, okay, I hear what you're saying. I have to, this is my problem with it. This is my issue. And that we could have someone on the other end saying, I hear you. Thank you for saying that. We don't agree, but I appreciate that we had this conversation, Yeah, I also want to say that the show has been kind of catching some strays. Some of my fellow dragons have been catching some strays, and kind of along the same vein of what I was saying before. That's we have such a short time to formulate our responses when we're filming these segments. Oftentimes, you're seeing a lot of knee-jerk reactions and micro expressions that happen faster than the blink of an eye. And then we can't take them back because the camera's rolling. And so I, again, found myself on the other side of that, of an unfavorable edit. But I can tell you for a fact that the show, the producers, the crew were so supportive of what I had to say. And in terms of my fellow dragons, regardless of what they said or what they did or did not do while the camera was rolling, in the break room, everyone was all ears. Everyone was like, I want to hear more about what your perspective is. Let's have a conversation. And yeah, I really wish that that had been filmed, but that isn't the reality. And so, of course, the segment is what everyone has to go off of. So yeah, just to conclude all of my thoughts, let's not cross that line. Let's disagree with each other. Let's critique each other. Let's critique this idea of cultural appropriation. Let's talk about it. But what we're not going to do is threaten people's physical safety and make people feel unsafe and cause them trauma that, quite honestly, they don't deserve as entrepreneurs who, in good faith, attempted to pitch a business. Was it misguided? I believe so. Were they a little ignorant? Absolutely. But those are all human things. And so, yeah, I guess I'm just asking for empathy and compassion. Thank you again for all of your words of support. I've really, really appreciated it. And I'll catch you guys next time.
But if you watch the entirety of that 6-minute video that he put out, it was like a little bit about the company and the couple and their pitch. It was mostly about how the situation was affecting him and the people around him, the Dragon's Den, the other dragons, you know what I mean? And it was just, to me, it was just a whole 6 minutes of nothing. But you can't go out and say things like that, especially when people are getting tired of what they have now called the woke mob. Going around messing with people saying, oh, you have to do this, you have to be like this, you have to accept this. People are tired of that. So when you went and you used buzzwords that aligned yourself, whether you wanted it to or not, with these people, you should have known that it was going to come back to bite you. And it was funny because he even called the couple ignorant. He called them misguided. He said, oh, well, for the most part in 2024, people should know, to educate themselves. And I was like, well, why don't you practice what you preach, bro? Like you said, bro, it's 2024. People should educate themselves. You said what you said because you knew it would elicit this type of reaction, because you knew already that this company was successful and that they were making money and that they were getting after it. Like, you went and you threw a tantrum, and now you're trying to cover up the fact that you threw a tantrum, and now you want to try to get back in everybody's good graces. And I don't really see that happening. But yeah, that's my take on it. Do I think that the pitch could have been done better? Probably. Do I think that they could have responded better to the pitch? Definitely. But you guys can go watch it and see for yourselves, make your own choice, your own decisions. But that's it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. So this is a note from future me. In the video where Dragon Manjeet was saying that she was withdrawing support, that she wouldn't be supporting the company, it was plain to see that she was reading off of a teleprompter. And it was also plain to see that it looked like she was being held hostage, that maybe she wasn't in total agreement with what she was saying. Now, my guess is somebody typed up something for her to say because someone didn't like that she was sort of supporting this company that a certain other someone didn't want anybody to, show support for.
Manjeet here. Last week's episode had a pitch from entrepreneurs about Boba Tea that has sparked a big conversation. After more reflection, due diligence, and listening to many of your opinions, I will not be investing in Boba Tea. Having said that, I had to turn off commenting on my platforms because it is never okay to send hate and death threats to the entrepreneurs. I believe wholeheartedly our cultures are meant to be shared, including food, drink, clothing, dance, languages, and weddings. Those of us like Simu and I who have platforms to do so always try to use these platforms to educate and enjoy and explore all cultures. It is cha or chai, depending on where you're from, not chai tea. It is naan, not naan bread. Sharing cultures increases understandings and brings peace on earth, something our planet could use. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Together we are better, and I am thankful for that.